Hello, everyone. This is your Friday pick and roll here on the Board YouTube channel, part of the Hammer Betting Network and presented by the FanDuel Sportsbook. We're here to bring you the look through the entire Friday NBA slate, and we'll see if we can find any free picks along the way. But make sure you guys have hit that like button to get us started for today's show. The content is free after all, and make sure as well you are subscribed to the channel. So you're up to date on all the content. We're live here every weekday morning for shows just like this. And to start off all of these shows, before we go through the NBA slate, before we go to your questions, we recap the previous show. Yesterday was a 1-1 day. Very slight loss on the juice. The minus 105 on Riza Shea was a loser. Didn't end up closing this game, so kind of leaves us hanging. He's 3 away from going over, but it is a loss. Tari Eason covers quite comfortably for us, so that is the winner on the day. So again, it is 1-1 overall. We'll bring in my co-host PipsNBA, but to get things started here, tough slate today. There's 7 games, and there's a lot of stipulations as a result of each of these games, which is leading to a little bit of complications with free picks. We'll go through all the games. We'll see what we can find, but we're asking you to send in your questions for the day. They can be questions related to your bets. You can send in a bet for us to react to. If you do, please include a price so that I can pull it up on screen. No need to include the book unless it's FanDuel, our presenting sponsor, but also send in your general betting questions as well. We often can provide some betting insight to help you along your journey, but we will still go through the NBA slate here up on the FanDuel odds screen, and we'll hear a word as to why there's complications with a lot of these games. For starters here, the Cavaliers away at the Hornets. Big spread can lead to some difficulties, but also some injury report questions as well from you, Pips.
Yeah, so I kind of lean towards Nurkic over rebounds. I'll show you on the screen, so we are on the same page. Uh, yeah, Nurkic rebounds. So there was one game where Mark Williams was out and Nurkic was playing, and so there were a couple of games. I'll just first show you games where Williams was out. First 2 games, he played 16 and 19 minutes, and then against even against Jokic, he played 19 minutes, which is really low, like limited minutes. And then against the Kings, he played 27. So if he's playing 27, this rebounds number is just way too low for him, and he should cover this pretty easily. Like there are 8.5 out there. He averaged 11 rebounds a game, and he gets 22 or more minutes. Looks like a smash spot for his rebounds. But then again, as I said, there were 3 games without Mark Williams. Since he's on the Hornets, 2 games he played 16 and 19. Last game he played 27. I can take a wild guess, and then it's 17, 18 minutes for Nurkic, and there is no way he covers in those minutes. So that's the thing with that one. And yeah, huge spread. It should be a blowout, but not many unders we can target. So yeah, that's on that game. Like
Yeah.
on the other side, like there is nothing on the Cubs. Like you can bet some unders and hoping it's a blowout. That's it.
Yeah, kind of getting to the end of the season where the injury reports are stacking up, things like that. So we'll work through the whole slate today.
I will say it came earlier than ever. Uh,
Yeah,
Earlier than ever.
like with teams kind of letting go of their season,
Yeah,
things like that.
earlier than
Yeah,
ever. It was
yeah.
like it was like late March, early April. Now it's like early March, which is crazy.
I think just year by year, teams are kind of recognizing there's not a lot of sense in trying to make the play-in tournament. It's better off. You're better off just kind of missing it. Um,
Yeah,
Even
uh,
with Miami, a 7 seed getting there one year to the
and
final.
NBA kind of did a good job for a couple of years with adding play-in tournament, so teams competed more.
Yeah,
But and now it's going away. Like they don't care.
yeah,
So it
agreed.
worked for a couple of seasons, and now it's also it always like as you said, when big names are showing on the draft board, when it's a big draft generation, teams that tend to tank a bit more than
Yeah.
like last season
So,
compared to
and
last
this is a
season.
really, really strong draft class, not just because it has Cooper
Yeah.
Flag, Ace Bailey, Dylan Harper. There are a lot of great players in the lot this year. We'll move to the next game. The Toronto Raptors up next. So already Jakob Pertl and RJ Barrett are going to be not playing in this one. But if you haven't watched the Raptors, if you didn't watch them last game, we did talk about it. But they pulled all of their starters for the clutch minutes of the game. Ended up still winning, but pretty much it'd be very difficult to predict how long the starters play, how many minutes they get. And so there's a bit of fear there. Is that what you think on this one, Pips?
Yeah, I will be all over like quickly assists or maybe even like Scotty Barnes assists in this one. But can do it if they are going to sit fourth in a close game. That's an issue. And I can take the under. Maybe they suddenly decide, okay, we'll play them late into the fourth. Uh, I would say that's really a tough one, tough look.
Yeah,
Just looking at
because if they're losing, which they might be, they probably won't be, but because if they're losing late, they'll probably just keep those guys in because they may not
yeah.
win anyways.
Yeah, and I would say there is for sure a chance they lose, like good chance. I think Utah, if Kejonte, Sexton, and Kessler are playing, I think there is a good chance that you guys lose.
I gotta watch this game. That both teams are gonna do everything they can to lose this, and I'm gonna have to watch it.
Yeah,
This is gonna be
yeah,
a really bad. Listen, if you're not a Raptors or a Jazz fan, I'd just unless you want just the comedy of both teams trying to lose, I would skip this one on League Pass. This is a
yeah.
tough one
I'm looking at Jacoby Walter. Maybe there is something for
because
him
he
to.
would close regardless, no matter what. He would close, I think.
Yeah, so like his threes against the team who allows the most threes could be a thing. Like when he plays 25 minutes, maybe there is correlation. When he played Woodpa got more minutes, but when he got 25 or more, he covered this in 6 out of 10. Uh, Even against Orlando, who don't allow any threes, the Rockets don't allow any threes. Uh, yeah, these were all tough matchups besides the Pelicans one. In the Pelicans one, he was 2 from 10. Uh, yeah, I don't know. This is a lean for this game, like over and 1.5
Yeah,
threes for him. As you can see, like he scores most of his points above the break. That's where Utah allows the most points in the league. They also allow a spot up, transition. Like that's where off screen Jacoby should shoot, but I don't trust him to make any. So like even if he takes
yeah.
5,
He's a bit inconsistent with his shooting. So yeah, like you'd think, okay, here's a chance to target some of the bench guys. Well, most of them aren't listed. Like Orlando Robinson will probably start today, and his line's already been adjusted. Troy Walter's line has also been adjusted, so not much to do with this one at the moment, unfortunately. But live betting would be an interesting. Maybe that'll keep me interested. I'll look for some live betting spots
yeah,
on this one.
yeah, yeah,
This one
yeah,
today.
makes sense.
Memphis up next against Dallas. Dallas is, geez, like absolute apocalyptic state right now. Like I have not seen a team that made the finals the year before just completely explode like this in the space of 30 days. Luka Doncic gets traded, and then just Anthony Davis gets injured. Kyrie Irving tears his ACL. Like they traded away Quentin Grimes as well. Like the level of talent this team has traded away is remarkable. Yesterday Jalen Brunson, Luka Doncic played each other. Two players that Dallas Mavericks basically tossed away. It's astonishing, but here we are. They're plus 10 at home to Memphis. What are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, this is horrible game for Memphis lately without Jaren Jackson Jr. Horrible defense, and now they play the horrible team. 10 spread. They should cover. They should blow out them, but so many questionable spots about this game. Like we don't have any certainty, which is probably a good thing. Like I would love this game. Like 15 or 20 minutes before it starts, or like 30 minutes before it starts, when there is some clarity. Like is Aldama playing? Like how the minutes who is starting? Uh, Much more clear stuff. But overall, like You can bet unders for Dallas when they're playing against worse defense. Like you expect blowout, you tend to look for unders. Then you get the look on the other side. Memphis worst defense in the league last 15 and highest pace in the league last entire season. Not a spot that you want to enough without their best defensive player. So you can't take unders because everyone is a great matchup, and you can't take overs because it's highly likelihood of a blowout. Also, I had an under on Najee Marshall last game for Dallas, and he had like 13 points. They were down 35, and he scored 7 points in the last 90 seconds of the game, down 30, and I lost by a hook. Like now he's suddenly playing in a 30 points blowout. Starters are playing, so I have no opinion in this game because everything is unpredictable, and that's the best way to describe today's slate.
Yeah. Next one up is the Timberwolves -5.5 at Miami. Do you see any challenges with this one?
Yeah, Rudy Gobert is questionable, and there are some signs that he could be back. Rudy out and Rudy in is like completely different games for both teams from both sides. Yeah, so
You seem frustrated.
I actually am for the show. Like I'm not for my personal betting because at the game time I'll have like the best board ever. Like I'll probably fire like 30 late bets on this one, but can't do much now. I'll react to the injuries. The books will open some lines. I'll check and see. Okay, they are off, way off on this one. Because if you have like healthy teams playing like 5 straight in the games in a row, they can maybe mistake by 1 point on the line. Like it's like bet. So they look very close last time. Now the opponent, so they open like close there, and there is some level of certainty. Like even though if they are very mistaken on the game one, at the game five, sharps are already made some adjustments for them, and it's a sharp line. And but when you have one player out and they need to hang out the line, they are terrible at doing though. So because I don't know how they approach the data and looking at these lines, but if you are sharp and you know what you are doing, you can definitely look like, okay, when this guy is on the court and this guy is off, what's his numbers in this scenario, in that scenario, and then you came up with a number, and that number can sometimes be like 3 to 4 points off of their opening line, and then you can find so many edges. But right now, it's very difficult.
Well, we're halfway through the slate so far on the FanDuel odds screen. We will shout them out here before we get into the rest of the show because they've made the show possible this season. And Fridays are very special at FanDuel as we watch all of our favorite teams and players. You can check out FanDuel right now to make every NBA moment even more rewarding with America's #1 sportsbook. It's an easy-to-use sportsbook with so many different markets available, from SGPs to 10 plus, 15 plus, 20 plus, sometimes up to 50 plus points. There's quarter props, live betting options. You can turn those live betting options into SGPs as well. And these markets are posted quickly with very fair pricing and very fair limits, and also providing speedy withdrawals. So when you do find those winners, you can get that money back into your account very quickly. And it's Friday, so that means FanDuel has their great 30 on 30 profit boost token live. Get 30% increased winnings on your favorite 30 plus score on 30 on 30 bets. And remember, right now, with all these players questionable, maybe getting ahead of the market, finding some lesser known options like some bench guys that come and have a big game with 30 points. We saw Derek White and Peyton Pritchard both had 40-point games this week in the same game. So perhaps some opportunity knocks with this profit boost token tonight. Just visit FanDuel.com/board to make every NBA moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA, but must be 21 plus and present in select states or Kansas in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in DC. First online real money wager only, $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bet to expire 7 days after receipt. For 3-month free trial, the full price of League Pass will be automatically charged monthly. Cancel anytime, no refunds. Terms, restrictions, and embargoes apply. Limit 1 pass per customer. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit fanduel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelpline.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050. for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. We'll bring the screen back up here to go through our next game. We have the Portland Trailblazers away at the Oklahoma City Thunder. And this is a strange one, but given all the injuries, it makes sense. But just on the surface, OKC only favored by 3 at home here. But lots of guys on the injury report in this one as well.
Yep. Horrible. Lineup for. I mean, it's not horrible. They can still win, but no Shea, no Isaiah Hartenstein, no Cason Wallace, no Jalen Williams, and no Luke Dort. So basically, all the starters. And Chet Holmgren still has a questionable tag. So lots of players are out for this one.
Yeah.
And you can look at the lines. You've never seen Aaron Wiggins on 21.5. That's for sure.
Is this fair price based on the situation? Is there any way to play Portland in this spot?
I will definitely think so, but the role players of Thunders are very underrated. Aaron Wiggins is, for example, if you look at the matchup, like could be still one of the best players on the court if Chet is not playing, and yeah, that's weird because like he's like a bench guy getting fringe minutes, but when he gets the minutes, he puts crazy performances. So yeah, Isaiah Joe, Caruso, Aaron Wiggins, Kendrick Williams, one of my favorite role players in the league. Yeah, they don't have the bench. Like now their bench is completely G League guys players, but the starters are their bench. So I think Portland definitely has an edge with Shadon Sharp, Scoot Henderson, Jabari Walker on the bench, but the starters are, I think, almost there. Like so, probably 3+ on Portland. Makes sense. Did Portland play last night? They didn't, I think. Yeah, I will go for. I will.
Oh,
go
no, they did. They did.
For,
Sorry, no, they didn't. It was the day before. My bad.
Yeah.
They did not play.
Yeah. So also, Blazers have players question of Jeremy Grant and Danny Avdia. I don't care if Grant is out. Don't think he brings much for them, but Avdia is big time for them. So him being out could be troubles for the Portland Trail Blazers.
All right. We can go to the next game. 3 more games to go. Up next, this was a pretty big one about a month ago because it's the Spurs against the Kings. Lines have been up in some books for this game. I don't know if they got taken down, but like a month ago, lines were up for this game because it's De'Aaron Fox playing against his former team in Sacramento. But obviously, the situation has changed for the Spurs and their season. So it's +6 for the Spurs here away in Sacramento.
Yeah. I'm just going to check something out. Trying to see what the minutes are for Jake LaRavia. Last 2 games he played 28 and 24. He's usually crushing this line in those minutes. So I don't know. Juice 7.5. Yeah, he's been really weird, like shooting horrible. 2 from 6, 0 from 3, 0 from 5, 1 from 4. Yeah. Definitely one of the games where we could maybe find something, but I will still comment on the stuff. Like DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine's lines are very much inflated a lot. Tough to bet on the LaVine. His usage last couple of games was non-existent, even though the guys were out. DeMar DeRozan shot the ball every time he crossed the court last game, but we could see some doubles from. And then there is Jonas Valanciunas against Biyombo out of 5 and against probably one of the best matchups. But lately, since November, Hartenstein stayed under, Sharp stayed under, Claxton stayed under. But then we had Ziakide with 17 points, Duren with 21. Yeah, let me just check something. Like since Wembenyama, I could see this being a Valanciunas game, but do they go small now? Do they go small now? That's also interesting one because against the
Maybe he's
Spurs,
played well. I'm not sure. He's had a good couple of games.
yeah. Just seeing. Uh, I'm just going through back. I don't know. I know it's not showing on the screen, but I'm going through the back to some games to look how the bigs have performed with Wembyless uh, Spurs.
Yeah.
Yeah, teams were going small. like Suns didn't play. They played Nick Richards 8 minutes and that's it. Um, because how they it's tough to. I see the questions in the chat also is about Jonas Valanciunas. Like how they have they stop him. Last game against the Denver, of course, he played 32 minutes against the Jokic. Against the he did was on pace to play huge minutes against the Dallas, who are kind of small at the five. So looking at rebounds, last game he had 13. Game before he was on pace to cover. What is a double double for Jonas? Is there any price that's
Let's see.
kind of doable?
On FanDuel, double double is minus 160. Sometimes you can
But
get
that's
varying prices here, so I'll just check around.
probably
Double
not.
double, best in market for double double. Yeah, minus it's the best in market. Minus 160 at FanDuel.
Six. Maybe I want to go like 10, 26 points and assists, points and rebounds. Let's have one bet. I think this makes sense. I
Okay.
actually think this makes sense. Let's do Jonas Valanciunas over 26 points and rebounds. Only because he played a small team of Kings of Dallas, and he was on pace to play 30 plus minutes. Think it works the same for this one.
Okay. There you go. JV points plus rebounds minus 118 at FanDuel will be the official play of the day.
Yep.
And
Uh,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so looking at this is Jonas when he is playing 24 plus minutes this season. Average 28.5, over in 6 out of 8. Covered against teams like Thunder, Denver twice, Hawks, Houston Rockets, and Hornets. I will say out of all this, Houston Rockets and OKC are more difficult matchup, very much more difficult matchup than the Spurs. I would say that Denver Nuggets are kind of the same as the Spurs, and think the Hornets and Hawks are slightly more difficult matchups. He's still covered in those, and the games where he stayed under, it's Wolves and the Bucks, who are one of the most difficult matchups in the league for paint scoring bigs, both rebounding, both so yeah. In the most difficult matchups, he stayed under, but was close. In the difficult matchups, he covered. In average matchup, he covered, and then in a great matchup, he covered. Tonight is a above average matchup. We can see that Spurs are loving the most putback points. He's scoring most of his points via putback, which is crazy. They allow the most post up, and they allow seventh most to pick and roll man. He scores most of his points in the paint. Spurs allow seventh most in the paint. Rebounding wise, he can be in the paint against Biombo near the rim, so he gets the rebounds. Everything makes sense. I just hope they don't double him. But if he's isolating against Biombo, I don't think they will. I need to check one thing, and that's Biombo minutes in the last game. He played 27 in the last game. Game before that, Biombo only 18, but that was against the small Thunder. Game before that, Biombo, I have to check, against the Houston Rockets and Shengun. Biombo played 14 minutes. So it's all over the place. But he was in foul trouble, I think. Weird. So I hope. Let me see some projections for this. They have Biombo playing 20 minutes. I could see that. I could see definitely him playing 20 minutes tonight to defend Jonas. And then I think Jonas could get like 10 minutes against the small ball at the 5. So that should be enough.
Okay, so weren't sure we'd have a pick, but we do. It's your JV over 26.5 points with rebounds, minus 118 at FanDuel. Not quite the best price in market, but the best widely available price in market. We'll go to the next game here. We have 2 more to go. Phoenix Suns away at the Denver Nuggets. Denver minus 7.5 at home. Every time I bring up Phoenix, it's the same thing. A team that is in need of wins and just has not been able to get much of them. So, what do we think on this one here?
Another tough one. Jokic is questionable, so I like overs against the Suns. Now every other player has inflated line, even though I think Jokic is playing, so we can't do much. Suns should allow like 140 in this game. Jokic will completely dismantle them. I think over on 2 to 38 also makes a ton of sense if Jokic is playing, of course.
Right.
So yeah, Jamal Murray line currently at 23.5. That's unbelievable. If Jokic is in, that line will drop. Then I will probably look into playing his over. Uh, Michael Porter Jr. is as well line 17.5, which is not that crazy. But if Jokic is ruled in, probably drops a bit down. On the other side, KD man, like he should cover 25.5 points. Just don't know how hard they are going to double him. I watched the games against the Wolves and against the Clippers. He was very aggressive in those 2 games, like very aggressive. Even though Clippers did send doubles and stuff, he ended up shooting 22 times with 10 free throws. Last 2 games usage 33 and 31%. If you take a look at the KD with 28 or higher percent usage and playing 32 minutes like he's playing lately, he's crushing this line obviously, but that's not don't know. Denver need very famous for blitzing and hedging pick and rolls and doubling players. So
All right. So a further complications for the spread on this game here. So we can go to our last game up before we get to your questions. We have the New York Knicks away at the Clippers. Clippers are -8 here. So again, hinting at the injury report on this one.
yeah, they should be killed there without Brunson. I just don't see it for them. Brunson could also be out for some time. Uh, Ankle injury, probably returning close to the playoffs. Uh, ugly one. Ugly one. I will say Clippers and Ty Lue are very well known. I think they were the first team ever to defend Towns with a wing and taking everything away from him. That's his playbook. That he did it first, and then everyone followed when they see how it works. So no Brunson, Towns taken away. What are the lines for the role players? Let me just see, because I could see them being up big. Yeah, man, this is such a garbage. Like this is a Mikhail spot all over the place, and then you can look at his win rate lately, and it's like, what the fuck this guy even do?
5 first-round picks they traded for this guy.
The last 11 games, he averaged 12 points and is under in 10 out of 11. God damn. And looking at him, like when he takes over, he takes over. Like he is just so effortlessly shooting and scoring. It looks like KD. And then for the 90% of the game, he's just standing there.
Yep.
Tough one. I honestly like don't know what to do with this game. Obviously, can't take any like James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, Zubats as well. Maybe even an under spot for Zubats. Let me just see who is. Yeah, Kawhi is playing. Uh, Pavel is out. Yeah, I don't know, man. Just just can't do much.
All right. We'll go to your questions now. We do have the one official pick, which is Jonas Valanciunas. But we'll go to the chat here. There's a lot of questions today. We will not get to all of them, unfortunately. I apologize. We will get to most. So thank you so much to everybody for sending them in. Early on in the show, Gabriel asked about Con Sexton over on 16.5 points at minus 130. Also asked about over 3.5 assists at plus 130.
The minutes are a problem. He is limited. At least he was in some other games. I will probably look into it as well, but last two games he played 17 and 21 minutes. When he's playing up to 24, he's under in every single game this season. Even when you do like 20 to 24, he's under in every single game. When if you extend it to 26, he's still under in most of these games. And I don't see him playing more than this. Looking at the assist as well, he's under in almost every single game. When you combine points and assists, he's almost under every single game. So matchup is also okay, not great, not terrible, like on average matchup as well.
Right. So minutes to worry there, as is for a lot of people today. Philip also asked about Karl Anthony Towns, but you did discuss it there a little bit. But under 25.5 and minus 110.
Could take him away, but also don't need to. So I don't know.
Yeah.
No Branson. That's passive Hart, passive Mikhail. No Branson. That's like 25 field goal attempts that's missing. So he will maybe need to have a huge usage.
Okay. Next, we have Josh Hart over 6.5 assists at plus 150 from the same game.
Interesting. Definitely an interesting price. Game missed by Branson. There is only one game. He had 12 assists in that one. But
Is that his triple-double game?
What?
He had a triple-double earlier this year. I'm just...
Yeah. 5.5 over minus 120. It's at FanDuel. Let me just check the stuff I usually check. And that's usage in games when in minutes without Branson. So give me just seconds. New York Knicks.
No worries.
When Jalen Brunson is off the court, what's happening? I'll show you. I can share this on the screen, like right. Share screen.
Yep.
Usage. Share screen. Zoom in a bit. So yeah, I opened the basketball monster. Usage monster. And then it's looking at the Knicks. This is the Knicks, and then looking at Jalen Brunson off. Usage goes the most up for Mikal Bridges from 13.9 to 15.7 field goal attempts per 36. Karl Anthony Towns usage field goal attempts per 36 goes from 17 to 22. Huge increase. But let's look at the assist one. Josh Hart assist rate goes from 5.3 to 6.8. 6.8 per 36. And he could be playing like 42 minutes tonight. So it's like probably up to like 7.5. So over 5.5 does make sense. But the matchup at Clippers is not great. Like that's horrible matchup for assist. Miles McBride assist goes up to 5 per game. Huge increase for Miles McBride. Probably the biggest increase on assist is for Miles McBride. Yeah, everything else Towns. It's Towns. All the usage goes to the Mikael Bridges, Towns, and OG Anunoby, which makes sense. Like who else? Josh Hart usage scoring doesn't increase, only his assists. So yeah, I kind of like maybe lean on the Hart assist over on 5.5.
Okay, there we go. Next, we had a couple comments on LaMelo Ball over 24.5 points, minus 110.
I would say it's difficult. A blowout plus horrible matchup. I'll stay away.
Okay. Next, Max Christie under 15.5 points at minus 130.
Nope, I don't like that. He could be up playing entire game. Uh, Besides some rest, but I think he could play when it's a blowout. And then looking at the last game, usage was incredible. I'll just open the Max Christie. I was actually considering betting on over. So the line probably dropped to 14.5 at one point. Last game, Christie usage was at 19%, and he played 36 minutes and had 16 field goal attempts. So if you take a look at his usage with over 18%, and when he is playing 30 or more minutes, or like 26, 28, 30, he averaged 17.3 points. Matchup is absolutely amazing for Christie. Like this is one of the best matchups for Christie entire season. If you take a look at the above the break matchup, spot up matchup, transition matchup, free throws matchup, like everything perfectly works for Christie. So definitely not going to bet an under on him.
Okay. Next up, question on De'Aaron Fox assists at 6.5, minus 110. He's been definitely setting up some playmaking with the Spurs, ruining our preseason bet, but it is what it is. Yeah, somebody was asking about your monster, Pips.
Yeah,
It's late. It's late in the afternoon for Pips. To be fair.
yeah. It's 4:30 now. I'll probably, yeah, I won't drink it if it's like past 6. So this is my time. I do the show and then I go to the gym. So it
Oh, okay. So a little
actually like,
pre-workout.
yeah. Almost, yeah. Uh, and I didn't get great sleep last night, so I actually drink Monster almost like uh, every day when I go to the gym at the show time. So I go to the gym like 3 times a week. So 3 out of 7 times a week, I drink Monster during the show or right before the show. So
Yeah, makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah.
De'Aaron Fox assists over 6.5, minus 110.
If you, yeah, uh, decent look. Can't say much. Like so many guys just dribble the ball, and also does he inclined to assist or he is inclined to score tonight? Could be both. Yeah, this will be a
Oh,
very interesting matchup to see. Like, does the Aaron Fox care about playing the Kings?
I think he will, personally.
Yeah.
Same game, other point guard, same team. Stephon Castle over 3.5 assists at plus 105.
Didn't look into that one, but I will now. Uh, what happened against the Pelicans where he played 12 minutes? Last 3 games he had 8 potential, 4 potential, 9 potential, 9. Oh yeah, yeah. Those are great numbers. Those are great numbers for plus money at 3.5. Uh, a Thunder, not going away over and against Thunder is great. Nothing like serious like Thunder is tough matchup for scoring for assisting. The last 4 games, he averages. We on the props madness recently we added passes made per game. So over the last 4 games, he averaged 47 passes per game, and over the last 3 games, he averaged 50 passes per game. Passes made like per game, 50, and that's compared to 34 on the season. So let's see if there is any correlation with passes made and his numbers. So when he gets, I'll say first, let's put some games where he has low minutes. When he makes 40 plus passes per game, he's over this line in 16 out of 22. And he averaged 50 passes made per last 3 games. And we are just looking at the games with 40 plus. So yeah, the numbers look really good for this one, especially at plus money, and especially against the Kings, who allow above average assists. And we can see that there are 3 games against the Kings here, 6-5 and 1 assist. Very weird, but yeah. Game with 6 assists, he had 10 potential. Then game had 3 potential, and then had 6 potential. So it's all over the place. But yeah, I like the lean on the over for sure in this one.
Okay, so perhaps a good spot there for Stefan Castle. We'll go through a few more of the player prop questions here. Switch ask about Nikola Jokic. No price, but under rebounds assists at -113. No number, but price. I didn't take that in. Let me pull this up.
22, probably 22 and a half. I didn't
23 and a half. 23 and a half.
Yeah, it's huge, but what's the reasoning behind this? Like I don't know. I just don't get it. Like Suns defense is horrible. He can have 20 assists in this one if they decide to send any help. And yeah, I know head to head doesn't look great. He didn't cover in any of these, but this was a blowout. He had still 20. And this was against the Nurkic and single coverage first 2 games of the season, I think.
So would you favor an over PRA at 39.5?
I will not favor anything in this.
It's not PR. Wait, what is this? Sorry, points plus rebounds. I was going to say 30.5 is pretty low. You don't like anything here.
Yeah. Do they double or do they not? Like, tough.
Okay. Last player prop questions here. Gabriel asked about Zach Edey double at plus 275. Actually, one more after this.
Yeah, makes sense if the minutes are good without JJ, and I could see minutes being good without Jaren Jackson Jr. Matchup is kind of matchup is screaming no need for playing Zach Edey. So that's why every single one of these today has pros and cons, and it's completely matched up. Like Zach Edey could get more minutes without Jaren Jackson Jr. It's a great matchup. Then second part, but they don't need to play him at the 5. They can play small with Brandon Clark with Aldama because Dallas don't have a big. Tough.
It's funny. Aldama's considered a small ball center when he's 7 feet tall and taller than most center, but bulk wise,
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
It's funny though.
Aldama is actually a really good player.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, I would play him at the 5 a ton if I was.
And he's 7 feet tall, and he moves like he's 6'9", 6'10". So, good, definitely good player. Last player prop question: Jaden McDaniels PRA over 21.5 plus 100.
Yeah, I absolutely hate the matchup for Jaden McDaniels today.
Okay, so
we had Ricochet over Miami, if you remember, guys.
Yeah, we remember.
he scored 2 points. And I think on offense, I would say Zachary is maybe a more better offensive player, even at this point, compared to the Jaden. And Jaden put some crazy numbers when Randall, Dante DiVincenzo, and Gobert were off. But I think he settles in his normal role with them back, especially if Gobert is playing. His rebound should tank.
Yeah. Steelers Nation asked about just general, if you feel like a guy's going to play less minutes, you take a bunch of their props, play the under, parlay it for a chance at a bigger payout. Do you think there's opportunity here for Chet today in this sort of way of playing it? Or do you think the numbers are adjusted? Do you think there's too much of risk he'll get his normal minutes? What do you think?
I think if he is ready to play, if he is not ruled out, he is playing normal minutes, and yeah, I don't see it. Don't think Mike Tygonot is doing that kind of stuff.
Okay. Last question. Hopefully you're up late because you watched the Lakers-Knicks game, perhaps. But Bear Commander Go Bears just wants your overall opinion on the Knicks game, feeling like they had it under control, but Karl Anthony Towns wasn't aggressive enough, led to a Lakers win in overtime.
I didn't. I went to bed at like 4 a.m. That's like 15 minutes before the game started.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's horrible. Like the Lakers games, Clippers games.
Yeah,
at
West
home,
Coast games.
West Coast games are not my bread and butter. I do sometimes stay, but this wasn't one of those days. I actually wasn't that much interested in this game, which sounds crazy, but it ended up being a good game. But I watched a bunch of Lakers lately, so I was like, okay, I don't need to watch this. So I can't comment. I don't know if you have seen anything about it, so I haven't.
All right. That'll do it for the show. Ended up coming up with an official pick for today's show as well after some complications with the slate. Perhaps we'll be back to normal on Monday for the coverage there. But again, there was a pick. If you're tailing, please like. If you enjoyed this show, please like. Subscribe to the channel because we're live every weekday morning as well. The pick was, sorry, actually, I've had some issues with my screen share today. I'll flash it at the bottom here. Today's bet with Jonas Valanciunas over 26.5 points plus rebounds, which was minus 118 at FanDuel. Thank you guys for tuning into another week on the show. Very much appreciate it. We started off with some difficulties this week for sure, but we've had a great season. We're looking to finish the season strong as well. So we hope to see you on Monday, and we hope to be recapping this win. So make sure you tune in to Pick and Roll on Monday, presented by FanDuel.